purpose of this show is to provide you information on project activities, InnoFoodAfrica project activities at Harare, which was carried out in 2021, and the current activities, that's 2022. So when we start our implementation, we started by selecting 2 sites which represent 2 agroecologies. One is the highland and the other is lowland agroecology, which represent majority of the farming community of the country. Next to that, we try to make some kind of assessment, quick assessment, to identify major problems that we should intervene in. The major problem is lack of improved varieties that is adapted to localities. Actually, there are a number of problems that I will tell you later on. And having this in mind, we formed 2 farmers research groups, 30 farmers in each district. The districts are called Banja district and Jabitana district. Banja represents the highland, which means more than 2,500 meters above sea level, and the other one is Jabitana, that is midland, around 1,800 meters above sea level. So after forming the farmers research group, what we did was we conducted farmers participatory research or farmers participatory variety selection. And the purpose of this activity was to select best and adapted variety, and that's acceptable by the community in terms of it can be taste, seed size, and something like that. So we did that in 2021, and this year 2022 we are promoting the selected varieties, which we call it pre-scale up. In our system we call up this pre-scale up. So we are pre-scale up varieties selected by farmers. These are 4 varieties. That's on maize, fava bean, teff, and in the midlands also sweet potato. That's orange plus sweet potato. So this time I will show you what is happening in the Banja district, the activities starting from fava bean, and then I will continue showing you some challenges as well. And let's go. We are in Banja district, where we have our fava bean pre-scale up activity, and this is a variety called, the fava bean variety called Numan. This was selected among 8 compared varieties, and this was the highest yielder and preferred by farmers. And this was selected because, one, its size is big and the yield is very high, and plus the taste was very good for farmers. So this was selected for pre-scale up. That is, when you say pre-scale up, the objective is to show to many stakeholders in a larger plot. When I say large plot, it is larger than the experimental plots. So this variety yields around 2.8 ton per hectare, while the local variety yields like 10.7, so almost 3 times higher than the local variety. So what we did for this experiment was we just applied biofertilizer, that's rhizome, and we have applied lime because this area is known to be acidic in soil. So we have applied lime at a rate of 20 quintal per hectare. So we have applied chemical fertilizer, that's NPS, that is to mean nitrogen, phosphorus and sulfur source fertilizers. We have applied that, and before that we have given to farmers training on seed systems. So this plot serves both for pre-scale up and seed production at the same time. So at the end of the production of this crop, after it is harvested, then part of the seed will be distributed among farmers in this community. So this is about fava bean, and around 13 farmers are producing like this, and a total of 2 hectares is being produced in this locality. Now I will show you the other crop, or the same crop in other plot, and this plot is owned by a farmer. Behind me he's weeding, actually clearing, he's not weeding. He's picking some odd fava bean like plants to ensure the purity of the seed. Thank you very much. We'll continue looking at the next plot. This is another plot owned by Ubayesh. This is a lady farmer here, and this plot is, as you can see, it is as good as best variety. And one thing I forgot to tell you is, because this is serving at the same time as seed source, and contamination or pollination is through insect pests, so we have avoided other farmers to grow this area another variety. So we supply them the same variety so that they can have their own production. So this plot, the pre-scale up plot of fava bean is 400 meters away from other farms producing fava bean. So this, as you can see, this is very good. You can see that is as high as me, but actually I'm short. So I will show you another farm. Goodbye. Okay, we are in the same village and in the same district, and particularly this area is known to be affected by frost and also some hails, and it's totally acidic. The soil is acidic, so farmers usually they don't use improved varieties of teff, fava bean and maize. They usually use local varieties, and some of them even they ban to produce crops like maize because of frost problem. So this plot is owned by this lady here, and she is owning here. You can see how wide it is, and as said, this also helps as a pre-scale up and seed production. As you can see here, you can see some kind of lodging because of high rainfall coupled with hail. So the purpose of this demonstration is at the same time to produce seeds so that other farmers can take up. So the variety is called Flagot. It is a high yielder because it gives like 20 quintal or 2 ton per hectare, while the local variety gives nearly half of this. So this is teff in this locality. We have 6 farmers having a total of 1.5 hectare. So I will show you the next crop, and we have different plots of teff, and just follow me. Okay, this is maize plot. In 2001 we have tried to evaluate 5 varieties, of which this one was the best one, and the variety name is called BH661. So it gives a yield of 6.8 ton per hectare, while other varieties they performed much lower than this variety. And in this area, in this village where we are also demonstrating teff, we have 10 farmers having such kind of plots. In total they have 1.8 hectare, while when it comes to teff, that I forgot the previous my explanation, it is being produced by 6 farmers, and in total it 6 farmers, 1.5 hectare is being multiplied. So this is maize farm, and as you can see here, there is some disaster, that is hail. It has been affected probably 3 or 4 days ago, so it may be the yield might be reduced, and you can see also some kind of blights. This crop is not that much known by the locality, because it is known, but they have abandoned planting maize because of frost. But last time, because of adaptation of this crop, we are able to bring back the production in this area, production of maize. So in total, in this highland area, that's the Banja area. To summarize, I just showed you fava bean variety called Numan, teff variety called Lagot, and maize variety called BH661. So in total, we have a total area of maize 1.5 hectare, teff 1.5 hectare, and that of fava bean is 2 hectare. And after here I will show you some other crops out of this district. Just follow me. Yeah, this is how land is prepared in both of the districts. So it is oxen in the Midlands, and most of the time in the highlands it's horses. Horses are the main draft power. So for teff is the maximum plow that's carried on. For teff it is about 6 times, while for fava bean like it is 2 times. So it is very tiresome. So land preparation is by hand. So my colleague here is thriving, working hard to make his land fine. This is teff farm, and this is how it is harvested using sickle. And actually it is very tiresome for farmers. What they do is they mow and put it like this for a couple of days, and when it gets somehow dried, they will pile it in small piles, and later on they will pile it in a big pile where it will be thrashed using usually oxen. But in some areas in the highlands, even horses are used for this purpose, and farmers are here working. I'm trying to help them. Okay, this is teff field, and one of the most difficult activities of teff is the production of teff is harvesting, which is usually done manually using sickle. And after mowing, farmers do such kind of exercise. They pile it in different spots so that it will get dry and it will be safe from some kind of rainfall. Then after piling this, they will have all together, and they will have one pile where they thrash it. We call it thrashing ground. So this is the most difficult part of teff, and this is one of the operations done by farmers. And next we will see. Okay, again this is maize field, and one of the constants of maize in Jabi district is hail, which usually affects every crop, sometimes in the heavy rain season. So as you can see here, this is heavily affected by hail or snow, and you can see almost all of the leaves have been damaged. We are now in another district called Jabi Tanat, or in short Jabi. It's different from the previous one because it is a bit lower. We are now at an altitude of like 1800 meters above sea level. So in this area, the most common and important crop is maize, followed by hot pepper and millet. So this area is in lack of vitamin sources. So in InnoFoodAfrica, we selected orange flesh sweet potato as a means to intervene or improve the nutrition status of the area by considering sweet potato. And last year, what we did in this area was we tried to bring to them 5 varieties of sweet potato, that's orange fresh sweet potato, and maize. So farmers selected both maize and sweet potato varieties. For maize they selected BH549, while for sweet potato they selected 2 varieties for different purposes. One of the varieties is called Dilla. It is selected because it is high yielder. It gives like 35.9 ton per hectare. And the second variety they selected is Alamura. It is a bit lower in production, in productivity. It is around 30 tons, but they selected this because it has a good taste. So right now we have distributed 2 of the varieties for 39 farmers around this area. One of the farm is here, and this person is the owner of this farm. He is called Antenna. So now this is serving as demonstration site plus as seed source for next year. So, but unfortunately, coming to maize, unfortunately, we could not get the seed from any source because of the prevailing social unrest in different areas, particularly where the seed was produced. So we are promising that things will be settled by next year. So we'll bring the seed and demonstrate it like this by next year. Now I'm coming to the end of my show. To summarize, I showed you two agroecologies, the warmer and the cooler area. In the cooler area, I showed you maize, fava bean and teff, and here maize, another variety, and sweet potato here. So by next year, we'll continue outscaling these varieties. So the purpose is reaching more number of farmers in the same village. That will be assuming that will be the source of seed. So I try to show you most of the activities of work package 3, which is improving farming system. And join us next year, and goodbye for now.